What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. I'm here for another video. Like the video as my intro plays because we got a lot to get into it. And as always, it's mostly about Latasha, Tamika, and the mama.
Make it make sense.
Oh, make it make sense. That's all. 1 and 1 got to equal 2.
Make it make sense, boo.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Sun in the sky.
You like that windy shimmy, huh? Okay, for starters, I am wearing Don Juan has a t-shirt company. This is one of his t-shirts. No, it's not the endorsement that I was telling you guys about. I just choose to support Don Juan because he did something really dope for one of my subscribers. Angela, the subscriber who passed away, Don Juan and Bolo sent her personalized messages, and he definitely did not have to do that. So if you choose to, go check out his channel. He also reviews the show, and let him know that Mim sent you. He doesn't know me, so probably just say make it make sense because I don't think he technically really knows me. Anyway, y'all, this was a good episode. This was definitely a good episode. Let me show his shirt just in case. I'll probably put it on my Instagram and tag him and stuff, and y'all can tag him too. Make it make sense now. Anyway, I almost want to start from Tasha and her mama, but we're not. We're going to start from where it began. So Destiny's Child were groupies for SWV. Taj says that Destiny's Child used to follow them from when they were in Houston. They would find out whatever hotel they were at and meet them in the lobby. So they were groupies. That story was a little bit weird because it almost sounded as if she didn't really know them and they were just finding these things out and kind of stalking them. But then you took them with you. So to me, the actual story was probably Matthew set that up for them to meet each time. Because let me know if that sounded a little weird to you. Congrats on 30K. I don't have 30K yet, unless you know something I don't. Now if I got 30, let me see. I didn't think I had 30. Close. I'm at 29.6. You was about to tell me something that I didn't know. But yeah, let me see what y'all are saying. If we're gonna have merch to sell in the future. Yeah, I will work on like hats and stuff like that, t-shirts. I did not expect the channel to grow this fast, and I got a lot of other stuff going on, but I guarantee you I will be getting some merch. Thanks, be blessed for that. Okay, so I thought that was weird. Now she's taught. I never know. Taj be looking so befuddled when she's talking to these girls. I swear, and I don't know if she's being funny, serious, or low-key shading, because she was telling Tamika, just look at that picture. Look at how beautiful. And I don't know if she meant the moment. I don't know if she meant, because what was she getting at? Low-key, I really do think that Taj is just a little bit, she could be a little shady, but I don't know really what she was trying to say there. Is she... We'll leave that alone. So Latasha starts saying that the issue she's having with her sister has everything to do with body shaming. And Taj was like, I don't know if that's the case. Then she said issues with the mom, and Taj was like, that ain't the case. Tasha refuses to really go in there and discuss the money issues, which I think gives more credence to the fact that you probably really did take that girl's money. Because why when presented with this, you know it's going to be on TV. You are choosing not to discuss it. I know y'all thought that was weird. Right. Latasha hated that photo. We kind of touched on that. Latasha speaks very openly about, self-esteem issues and things of that nature. So I don't know what she was going with that. I don't know where she was going with that. Hold on, it's hot in here. Maybe it's this drink. Okay, I'm back. Oh, that's why, because the heat is on. Y'all know I like it cold. I'm one of those people at my house. It has to be really cold, and that's why you normally see me in like hoodies and stuff. But because I was being the unofficial, unpaid for spokesperson, and this is a short sleeve, I turned the heat on. Boy, was that dumb, because this is kind of strong. Anyway, that is something to really pay attention to. She never really wants to address the money issue. And that's a problem. And she says that they have a meeting for a record deal today. Now, I'm one of those people that's a stickler for continuity. Is she lying to Taj right then? Or did the producer stick this scene in after she had already met with the record label? I don't understand. I'm thinking that maybe she had another meeting with the record label. That's what she was trying to say. But the deal was already done on the last episode. So that was kind of strange, unless she is still purposefully being vague with these women because it's not technically really signed on the dotted line. And she's not going to give anybody in the cast full disclosure. I don't know. I don't really trust Tasha. So anything she says, I'm kind of like fine-tooth combing it. Like, she's one of those people you need to read. If she gives you a contract, you better read the fine print. Because she will stick some in there, take your $30,000, allegedly. Allegedly. But I just thought it was so funny that Taj really be looking super, super perplexed. Just saying. Coco meets with her friends Troy, Tamia. I'm sorry. Troy, Tamia. I don't have a picture of Tamia. That one didn't load. But Tamia's a cute girl. It was a whole bunch of talk about little titties and wops. And what? I thought it was a fun scene because it looked like real friends having fun, but we really are talking about little titties and wops. If you don't know what a wop is, look it up. I can't say it without getting demonetized, but it looked like fun. Y'all, if you follow me, you know I have a crew of ladies who are now calling themselves the Juicy Crew. They are ladies over the age of 50 who are vivacious and will let you know what time it is. I felt like Coco wants to be part of the Juicy Crew. Karen Huger leads it. She said that when her friend Troy said, "You're in your third quarter," I know every person who watched my video from 2 days ago was falling out at that third quarter reference. We had a whole knockdown drag out because of the third quarter references. So I'm going to tell you, bro, back up off the third quarter references because the Juicy Crew will come after you and they do not play. I was dying, y'all, when he started talking about the Juicy Crew. I was dying. Oh, y'all see my Easter rabbit? Not the Easter rabbit next to Corinne. I gotta figure that's probably not right. I'm gonna have to swap that out. Coco admits that she is battling bipolar depression. Now, I didn't know, and y'all can put, is there a difference between bipolar disorder and bipolar depression? Because I had never actually heard the term bipolar depression. But y'all could literally like correct me if I'm wrong. I never heard it. And tell me in the comments if there's a difference between the two. She said she thought of somebody's life, and she could have been in jail. And the true Monique fan in me went to I could have been your cellmate. If you are a Monique fan, if you have never seen this, you are missing out. It is one of her last really good comedy specials, no holds barred, absolutely entertaining, old school Monique. But I don't. It's so funny how the SWV crew minus Taj really want you to know that they are very moist. Their words, not mine. The moisture conversation just keeps on coming. It started with Karen letting us know she had a lot of steam coming from her undercarriage, and it has progressed on to SWV. They really want you to know that moisture is not an issue for them. Okay, so yes, there's a difference. Y'all let me know what is the difference. Shout out to the Juicy crew. It was my first time hearing it too. Okay, I guess it's just bipolar with added depression. Manic depression is bipolar. Okay, gotcha. Tony says, I'm claiming my position in the Juicy crew. 55 next month. Oh, wow, you look great, Tony. All right. You better let them know. Somebody in the Juicy crew on that video told me, I can't have kids no more. So when I do it, it's for fun. And I fell out. Thank you, Tony. Happy early birthday. Oh, when is your birthday, Tony? Well, happy early birthday. I didn't see that in the comments. Bipolar depression is extreme mood swings and mood episodes. Messy but fair. My niece is rolling at my... Hey, it wasn't me. That's what they said. They wanted the people to know that moisture is not an issue. Okay, so Tamika and her mama. Now here is where things get real sticky. Oh, and I just did a moisture reference. Take that back. I'm sorry. There was no pun intended. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Sorry. I was not. Blame it on the that. I didn't mean to say that. Okay, y'all. So when the mama was walking up, is it just me or did she look like she was walking the plank? Like she did not want to be there. And then when she does get there, Tamika says, she's glad to see her. And then the mom says, are you glad to see me? Now, y'all, that is passive aggressive. If somebody says, I'm glad to see you, especially your child, and you respond with a question, already we know you're on with some FS is what we'll call it. And you can fill in the blanks. Since said 58 and do not play with the Juicy crew. Right. They are saying, look, it is what it is. That to me, she did not even hug nor embrace her child. And that reminded me really of Tasha. These are the two women that are supposed to be so godly, and they use their relationship with God in order to belittle other people. And here you are not embracing your own child. To me, that was extremely weird and very akin to what Tasha does when she doesn't want to mess with anybody. So it plays into the Tasha is the mama's girl and Tamika is the daddy's girl. Very, very similar. Now, y'all, did it look like this was like a gallon of Kool-Aid? Was it just me or did that cup look huge? And I don't know. I was raised on Kool-Aid. And when my grandma was feeling fancy, she would make pink Kool-Aid lemonade. So this is what this looked like. I don't know if this was some form of Alizé. It definitely wasn't wine. I don't know what they were drinking, but that glass looked absolutely huge. The mom asks her what the issue was. 58 and not playing. Exactly. Look, Not enough likes. Over 400 in chat. How many likes do we have? Y'all, we don't even have 200 likes. Yeah, definitely get those likes up. It was Minute Maid, Pink Lemonade. Okay, so I'm not alone in that. My grandma's Pink Lemonade used to go hard because back in the day, sugar was not an issue. It's the angle. Okay. All right. Okay. It was looking like a real big glass to me. And Tamika says it's because she constantly sides with her sister. This is when a parent should step back because you've asked the child. You have not started by saying, these are the issues that I have with you. You are asking someone what the issue is. So technically, that's when your guard should be down and you should be taking it and listening to what your child is saying. If your child is saying that their entire life they have felt like a difference is made, then you should address that accordingly. But the mom's guards were absolutely up. So this is some real deep Iamla type stuff. It's making for interesting television, but on the human side, this has to really suck because it's real storylines are playing out for all of us to see. The mom says, I am the 5th member of the group. Now, Mama Joyce is and will always be the 5th member of the group. Not to be confused with the woman in the back of the picture who was actually the 5th member of the group and left. That's Candy's BFF. She was the actual 5th member of the group, but Mama Joyce is the honorary 5th member of the group. And if Tasha and Tamika's mama don't check herself before she wreck herself, she might end up just like Karma in that dress store. She better watch out because Mama Joyce ain't it. She said, when I first put the mic into your hand, so it's like she's taken some form of credit for what the girls have been able to accomplish. Now, I want to share this with you. This is Tamika's father. He is still very much actively in her life. And she has lots of pictures, but as you can see, her father was actually a musician as well. So I don't know if the mom was the one who put the mic in the hand or if she was just taking credit for doing that. But clearly the father can sing. I don't know if the mom can sing, but it was a musical family. So when she says certain things, you're like, you start to think, what is that? Are you really trying to maybe belittle anything that the father did? Now we're going to get into the daddy issues, the mommy issues. She says that when the dad walked out, he didn't care if they swam or sank. I'm going to try to find out, guys, if the father actually left the mother or if he left the entire family. Because if it's a situation where he left the entire family, I completely understand a mother feeling like I raised you completely and now you're going over to them. I'm not saying that it's right because children are and will always be the innocent party and they never ask to be there. A parent should never, unless there's like some abuse or something, really try to separate the children from the other parent. However, we don't know if any of that is actually true. We don't know if the father left the family or not. But what we do see is that Tamika is unabashedly a daddy's girl. Latasha and Tamika's father passed away. I saw the father on the Instagram because he had I believe like an open heart surgery and survived it. Has he since passed away? I don't know, Nikki. You guys let me know. When I was looking through her Instagram, she had pictures of him. I didn't see anything about him passing, but it's these people are human. So I get that. But I really do feel like Tamika is the one that's telling the truth. I feel like Tamika has had to experience situations where she felt like it was her and her mother and her sister against her. And no child should actually have to feel like that. Just my opinion. Let's see. Tony says, I hope their mom is sincere, but Tamika still needs to keep her guard up and stand up for herself. Gloria and Tasha are foul. I don't trust it. I'm kind of with you. I don't know. There's something about the way that the mom moves and the things that she says in defense of Tasha that really makes me feel like she's in a situation where she sees too much of her ex-husband in her daughter, and that has maybe affected the way that she interacts with her daughter. It is deep. It is sad. Thank you so much, Tony, for the super chat. The Daddy's Girls, silent member. Okay. So then the mom goes on to say that she is the silent member because she keeps the girls together. Now, with all due respect, Tamika mama, if you are the silent member because you keep the girls together, you have failed. Because now the girls aren't talking. Tamika is going solo again. Tasha is going solo again. Tasha then changed her number and don't want nothing to do with her sister, and her husband then stole. So if your group membership was contingent on you keeping the girls together, you have failed. You need to look for another position. Go ahead and give that fifth member to Aunt Bertha, because Aunt Bertha could keep them girls together. She then goes on to say that you then talked about this girl's husband and how can you sleep at night, and tells her that ain't nobody taking any money from you. Finally, we get a situation where Tamika stands up for herself, and I was absolutely here for it. She starts crying and she defends the fact that, yes, the man took the money from her. And, she talks about the husband because the husband is now part of her story in a negative way. Is she not supposed to say anything just because your sister is married to Ike Turner? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong, but the sister is married to Ike Turner. So it is what it is. He's a part of the story. He wanted to be a part of the story. And, that's just what it is. Tamika says she's going to need to take a step back. Now, I was absolutely here for Tamika saying she was going to take a step back. The mom said, what you mean by step back? And in my head, the mom was probably thinking, oh, Lord, Tamika ain't going to give me them love offerings every 1st and the 5th of the month. Sorry, I do not know if Tamika's mama is getting love offers from her daughter, but it's a big chance that maybe she is getting them love offerings, and then all of a sudden she softened to her daughter. It took tears. It took Tamika finally standing up for herself before the mom actually embraced and hugged her. And I swear to God, when she hugged her, I heard her say, are you still going to send me them love offerings? I know y'all heard it too. So the mom finally apologizes and they hugged it out. But I'm going to keep my good eye on Tamika mama because something just don't sit right in my spirit. I'm just saying. Wait, y'all wrong for talking about the mama. Who's talking about the mama? What happened? Did something happen in the comments? I don't know what's happening in the comments. That was for the cameras. Oh, you don't find that funny? Well, you tried it. Take the things that I say with a grain of salt. And they came back with you. Okay. Tamika is damned if she does or doesn't. Her face said that she's heard it all before, as her mother gave that backhanded apology. The important thing is that I believe Tamika when she says that if it doesn't become less of a toxic situation, then she's going to back away. In all fairness, thank you, DJF, for the super chat. When people are unhappy, and this is just in life in general, when people are unhappy, a lot of times the things that they do or say that could be perceived as toxic, they may not even be aware of it because it is something that they are just inherently projecting to the world, not necessarily that they even know that they are being toxic. And as Tamika was saying, her mother was a housewife, and maybe she never fully recovered because she had a happy home. She had the children. She had the husband. I think he was like a police officer. And then all of a sudden that was taken from her. If we are in a situation where the mom was the sole provider and had to really struggle to make sure that the girls, and I think they have a son too, that the family that remained in the house were taken care of, that has probably permeated in her. And she doesn't realize that she is, really doing those things to Tamika. That's me being fair. But if I don't know, me not being fair, what if that check went to the mama's house and the mom gave it to Tasha because she knew Tasha needed the money? Something to think about. What if the mom got the money? Now, I was going through Tamika's Instagram. Tasha's Instagram, and it looked like Tasha, after they got back together with Xscape, has really been, rolling in the dough. Let me see. She had a video where she had just received a new car. So let me share that with you guys. I'm telling you, every time I see something from her, I'm thinking, did you do that with your sister's money? Why you couldn't pay your sister back? She says, now this was just last year. If you knew or you had any inkling that you owed that girl $30,000, you shouldn't be in this $80,000, $90,000 car. This is the same car that Kenya has, that kind of electric Tesla truck thing with the suicide. Oh, I can't. One shouldn't say that word, with those doors. But yeah, every time I'm seeing her, I'm like, you did that with your sister's money? Could you give that girl her money back? Is that with your sister's money? Was that Louis Vuitton? Was that Louis Vuitton house coat with your sister's money? Them good wigs, is that with your sister's money? Okay, so we got Taj and who is this? Taj and Candy. I really like Taj. But is she giving y'all Bone Collector? Because Taj is moving these storylines on. Maybe they gave her a bonus. You better watch out, Sheree. Because Taj really might be coming for your spot. She might be the new official Bone Collector. And I'm not even joking. I like Taj. I like her energy. But it's giving very much Bone Collector. Not Valentino belts and missing teeth. Oh my God. Valentino belt and missing teeth. Taj dropped the tea on the solo deal to Candy, and this was Candy's face because Candy knew it. She told us that in the first go round, this is what happens. I told you guys very early on that I felt like once Xscape gets enough notoriety, that is when Rocky has the ability to try to sell her, not sell her. Poor choice of words. Sell her music career and put like a different spin on it and move it in different directions. But it kind of sucks for the group because right after they start having traction is when this issue always seems to happen. And Taj says that the same thing happened to SWV when Coco went solo. Y'all can put in the chat because I hear mixed reviews. I hear that there is no SWV without Coco because she does all of the lead vocals and the other girls are just kind of there for the harmonies. Other people say that they can all sing, but it's mixed reviews on SWV. Everybody acknowledges that they're a great group, but without Coco, could the other two girls move on? Taj was basically like, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, Tasha. The show can go on without you. So I think the SWV girls have this business mindset, like at all costs, we are going to make this work. We're going to make this money. And I don't think that the Xscape girls necessarily have that because at least two of them are extremely wealthy without it. So we'll touch on that a little bit further into the review. Lily. Now, I can't even tell you what Lily's book name is going to be. Let's just say that it rhymes with hot ussy. I feel like the SWV girls minus Taj really came on to promote themselves, their side hustles, and their children. She's promoting her son, and she has a book about WAPs and their moisture and everything else that comes with that. She says she is... I don't remember her age, but she says that she is fine and she can still do it at whatever time and at her discretion. And that, well, she said missionary, but somebody said all the SWV girls can sing. Producers used to have Coco go over their vocals. Taj can sing. They can all sing, but the problem is only Coco gets to sing. Coco is their sound. The others can. Okay. All the SWV girls can sing. Well, there you have it. The hot ussy book. I just can't. I'm here for it. And let me tell you why. I think there's a market out there for everybody. And just like she said, you may not want to think about a grandma in a missionary position, but there are grandmas in the missionary position. So if that is your demo, then why not strike while I was about to say while the bone is hot. This is why not, do the book. Let me just say that. That's a safer way to say it. Why not do the book? Because there is a market out there for that. And the Juicy Crew exists. And let me tell you guys, the biggest ST demo is actually people in nursing homes. They are swapping spit and everything else in the nursing homes and needing some penicillin. We'll just say it like that. So yes, there's a definite market, and I think that she should go ahead and write that book. And she has now used this show to promote it, which is what should be happening. Somebody said my old ass be all in all the positions. Lily got a beautiful voice. Okay. So it sounds like what everybody's saying is those three women can sing, but the producers chose to make Coco's voice the sound of SWV. That's why she's doing most of the lead vocals, and the rest of the girls were more background and melody. And they said that Coco was having to go and sing over their background vocals too. So that's crazy. I really like Lily because Lily is doing what Monique Samuels should have done. Lily telling us that she was living out of her car and close to taking her own. That endears you to the audience. Whereas Monique Samuels came on and led us to believe that her life was great and she was going to have a record career if she hadn't gotten with Big Boy. And I don't believe her. And the preacher even came and told us that she was living in her Durango when she met Chris and was working for Chris. And allegedly, they said that Chris had a girlfriend. But, that's all alleged and in the past now because she got him. But the point is, had Monique Samuel is giving us her backstory and her more like a rags to riches story, I think that even more people would have liked Monique than already did, because Monique was a fan favorite. But you guys get what I'm saying. Lily giving us this, I love hearing her stories. I loved hearing the story about the bed and her being so open and honest about how times got hard and how she had to get a regular job. I really like Lily. Tasha recording. This did not sound like church music. I didn't necessarily like the song. Her husband coming in and making a reference to, hold on, let me take this comment off. If you're single and if you ain't married. Her husband coming in and making a reference to Ike Turner, that wasn't a good joke. I didn't like it. It's too on the nose for who we actually think you are. And he should have left that one on. I'm sure he thought that that would be funny, but we've seen too many similarities at this point to find that kind of humor from you funny, sir. In fact, we don't find it funny. We don't like it at all. She just really reiterates that she ain't telling them about her solo project until the ink is signed. Now, that I agree with. Don't put your business in the street until you know that it's actually going to happen. Don't give everybody everything, because that could be your downfall. And then you look crazy when you have said something that didn't come to fruition. So we have about like 700 people in the chat, but we only have about like 300 likes. So come on, guys. I think 450 is a new good like goal. I like the relationship between Coco and her son. They seem to like really like each other. I really do think that she did this show to push his singing career. So what he's going to have to do is definitely like step it up in terms of the personality angle, so that after the show ends, he has a built-in fan base. He should be pushing his Instagram the same way Coco pushed her son's Instagram, the other son, and let us know that he had like 1 million followers. He doesn't want to go to college. Now, this might be a little controversial. I don't understand all of these housewife kids who have decided just to solely be influencers. You can be an influencer and go to school. I don't understand. You got Kim Zolciak, Cynthia Bailey, and Nene Leakes. Nene's son has now started like helping to manage the Lanithia Lounge, but prior to that, he said he wanted to be a comedian. And prior to that, there really wasn't much that he was doing. There were some years in between. My thing is, you can do social media, you can do YouTube, you can do all those things while carrying on a job and getting an education. What happens? Like, I think Kim Zolciak should be a cautionary tale. While things are good and while the influencer money is rolling in, you're great. But, all of these kids have these expensive cars, like $100,000 or more cars and all this. All of this could be taken away from you like that. Real talk. Any of this could go at any minute. You have to set your kids up for something more than just like microwave fame. And I know that's hard because you see your parent and, all your parent did was date this married rich man and get on a reality show and now you're rich. However, what if Instagram changes their policies on the way you can monetize? What if YouTube changes their policies on the way that you can monetize? What if all that happens and you have nothing else to fall back on except the fact that, people like your hair and your nails? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they don't push them to go to school and be the influencer. You could easily do both things. I don't know. Just saying. Even Riley went to NY. Yeah, Candy does not play about school, and Riley went straight to NYU. Any of these kids, have all these opportunities at their fingertips. So I don't understand why influencer is the only thing on your resume. Candy didn't become rich because she was just a singer. She pivoted. I tell you guys that all the time. In the business world, when something doesn't go right, you pivot. You save. Like, it's not making a lot of sense. He wants to quit school. I'm like, don't force the boy to be a dentist. If he doesn't want to be a dentist, fine. He can go to school for whatever he wants. Why do you guys want him to be dentist? The jokes write themselves. I'm not even going there. But dentist. And it's like, he clearly doesn't want to be that. He could, as his mama said, just go sing on the weekends. That would make the most sense to me. He wants to take a year off from school. Why would you take a year off if you don't have a deal yet? If you don't have an active deal on the table, what are you taking a year off? You were just singing on Instagram. That takes 5 minutes. You can do studio on the weekends. Your mom is setting you up for success, having you be on this show. Yeah, I mean, kids will be kids. What did he say? He said something. He said, y'all, and I want to hear from the Juicy crew. This little boy said, I'm not going to sacrifice my happy. How many bills are you paying? You just asked your mom for a Balenciaga backpack. How many bills are you paying? Now, they can't force you to be a dentist, but they could tell you we're not going to pay your bills if you don't go to school. So if you want to literally, if you want to be just a singer, then be just a singer, but pay your own bills, pay your own way. I'm not going to sacrifice my happy. You are 18, 19. You've only done 1 year of college and you don't pay one bill. What makes you think that your happy should be your concern? Your grind should be paying your own bills. Just saying. Part-time school. There's so many things that you could do. I wasn't a fan of college. Now, yes, I can understand there are more pathways to success than college. However, for this kid, he just says, I want to be a singer. He's not saying I have studio sessions booked, I have gigs booked. It's something about the new generation of kids. They just kind of just like happy-go-lucky, whatever. Oh, okay. That's how I feel that they really be acting. Like, it is what it is. I'm not going to sacrifice my happy. I'm vegan. Make sure that Thanksgiving we have 3 different of everything, because I can't have meat, I can't have fish, I can't have poultry, I can't have wheat, I can't have gluten. Like, y'all, having been with my niece for like the last month, I'm just like, oh my God. I don't know how new age parents do it, because these kids, they just have a lot to say about everything. Nicole, it's a real job, especially if you learn to code, API, algo, and market. They can use these skills on resumes. I do. I have at being an influencer. Now, Nicole, DM me because I have some questions. But I don't think that Kim Zolciak's daughter's influencing was a real job. I'm sorry. As a content creator, I know it's hard, but you can do both. And I do still think that you should look at Kim Zolciak as a prime example. Now she's foreclosed on. Everything was that influencer lifestyle, and it just do both. Just my opinion. But people will do what they want. I was really shocked by Cynthia's daughter quitting school and just saying, I'm just going to do influencing full time. I get that there can be endorsements and all these things, but learn like the business aspect. But you said you learned to code, API, algo, marketing, and probably SEO as well. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram. Make it make sense now. I would love to like pick your brain on some things. Wait, Tasha and Rocky stole 30K and Mims is almost at 30K. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence in the Nini voice? Juicy Crew, is there a waiting list for almost 50? I'll be 49 this year.
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence?
Thank you, pretty black girl. And Thank you, Nicole Harris. I appreciate the super chats. Juicy Crew, let Pretty Girl know. Why are you stuck on this? Why am I here? LOL. Who are you? JH. Anyway, so we get to the groups getting together. As always, Tasha does not want to commit to anything. At this point, it's like, ma'am, why are you here? They're all doing this cutesy thing where they're putting their hands in the circle. Let me go ahead and drop the link. Y'all, we're not going to be here all night. We can't be here all night. I'm dropping the link, though. So anybody is welcome to come up. If it gets to a point where we have like a lot of people, we're just going to, move it along, and it's going to be a fast moving train. So I don't know that I could get along with somebody like Tasha. It's simple enough. It wasn't like they were committing to multiple shows. I don't understand why you can't do the Xscape tour and your solo career. That isn't really jiving with me. We're getting to the business side. Now, this was funny to me, y'all. Kandi wants to be the headliner, and Kandi also wants more money. Coco comes out with she done sold 30 million records, and Xscape only sold 7. And Kandi then already came out with the receipts to show who was headlining the tour. I will say this: would I be offended if I was in a meeting and we were supposed to be doing this thing for the culture, and they're telling me that we can't make the same amount of money and we can't co-headline? If I was SWV, I definitely would be in my feelings. If I was Kandi and Tiny, and my stint on RHOA and my stint on VH1 really reinvigorated people's interest in Xscape, or at least lit the match, would I feel I deserve more money? Probably, because there wouldn't even be a deal on the table if it weren't for Tiny and Kandi still being ever present in people's minds. Could Xscape and SWV still perform? Yes, definitely. They're very talented. They have a fan base. But would it be as big without the Kandi and Tiny? I don't think so. So I don't really know what would be fair there. But according to Kandi, they headline the tours. So let me see what you guys are saying before I go into the chat. Can anyone hear him? Can y'all not hear me? Kadi, let me know. Let's see. Where are we on likes really quick? Okay, we're getting up there. We have like 800 people, so let's get to 500 likes. Wasn't feeling Kandi. Kandi wasn't budging on that. Xscape always headlines over SWV. They bamboozled SWV. Okay, so you guys can hear. So I don't know what's going on. So let me go ahead and what's up, Q?
What's up?
You tell me.
Your
opinion on the Tasha Mama and Tamika Mama conversation.
So I feel bad for Tamika, but her mama raggedy, and she need to go ahead and distance herself from her mama. And I would get to a point where I would have to distance myself, or my mama and my sister gonna get windmilled on, because clearly you have a favorite. I'm an only child, so I don't know what it's like to have siblings, but for you to be so blatant about who your favorite is, and everything is, oh, well, your sister's hurt, she's crushed, she's this, she's that. No, it's not about her. And
no, her mama is raggedy.
Her mama is raggedy. But you know what I'm curious about, though? I will be very curious about how her and Mama Joyce got along back in the day. Because, Mama Joyce is on one and Gloria on one. So I'll be very curious about, especially when the daughters, especially when they weren't getting along, like when Tamika and when Tasha and Kandi
weren't getting along. To be honest with you, Kandi, I like you and I still want to interview, but I don't think that Candy's mama really cared, because she had her eye on the prize. I wouldn't be surprised if Candy's mom was the reason that Kandi dated Jermaine Dupri.
Oh, okay.
I think that Candy's mom was getting to the bag.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, she said she was real happy when Candy was dating Chuck because Chuck was buying her Louis Vuitton purses and paying her bills.
Mm-hmm. So you trying to
Mama
say
knew
Mama a
there
gold
was
digger.
after singing, and that was marriage, and that's why they didn't want them to marry Todd.
Because Todd was anyway, I just feel like I was sad. It was two things I was pissed off about in this episode with the mama, and then I was also pissed off with Coco on. I felt like this when it came to the whole Lily situation. Yes, your sister in Voices or whatever you want to say, this girl you grew up with, this girl you started with, you went ahead and tried to do that solo career, but it flopped. It flopped big time in your face. You had to run back to Xscape. I mean to SWV. But your sister was homeless in the car. Like, I was like, and then like you could see Coco's face, like whatever. Coco's so self-centered. I am not a Coco fan. I like Coco's voice. I am not a Coco fan. Just like I'm not a Latasha Scott fan. But it kind of pissed me off because I'm like, damn, you left your girl out there to be like whatever. You got to survive on your own. I didn't like that. Even though they're old, they're grown, and this and that. I just didn't like that. And then really quickly, I've been to an SWV show and I've been to an Xscape show. So here's my thing: SWV has the better music. Xscape puts on the better show. So for me, I would want Xscape to close the show out. But I also feel like since we're not doing a tour, go back and forth, and then at the end of the night, y'all come together. Y'all do Understanding. Y'all do Weak. You find a way to blend it together. You sing backgrounds for each other, and then you end the show. It ain't that difficult. Candy, you making enough.
Who do you think should get top billing?
I would give it to SWV only because Xscape only because of Candy and Tiny, because I think worldwide they're known more than SWV, but not because of the music, because of the reality shows.
No, I'm more of a Xscape fan, to be honest with you, but I think that is just subjective. Thank you so much, Q, for coming up. Q does do a review as well. Check out it's Q the Content Guy. Thank you, Q.
Thank you.
Can you pronounce your name?
Just is.
Just Dez. Really quickly, Ayana says time for Tamika to press charges. I'm with you. And Tony said, thank you so much, Ayana. And Tony says, when they had their other show, Mama Joyce told Tamika off about that radio interview she did. Now, Mama Joyce will get with you, and I'm pretty sure Mama Joyce wanted to fight. We all know about the Tamika and Tiny fight. I mean, the Latasha and Candy fight. I'm pretty sure Mama Joyce would have tied up her wig and put up her jewelry. Thank you, Tony. So where do you stand on this episode?
I think
you went out.
Oh, I don't know. You went out also. Hi, Chad. Hey, Mims. What I really think is Candy manipulated this whole situation with the girls. However, they are telling the truth about the thievery. I believe that. I also believe that the mother is so involved and something needs to be fixed within her, between her daughters. So I'm on SWV side all the way because SWV is the headliner and SWV is more mature now. And they went through this probably. So I believe that they are handling the business rather well as far as the situation. They are trying to encourage the girls to be a little more mature. So since Tamika decided that she didn't want to tell the story, and she should have, that they are a little angry about it. But it's time for her to tell her story. And I do believe that she's been putting up with a lot of mess. So let's give the girls a chance.
Which girls? SWV?
Tamika and Tasha.
Oh.
Let's give them a chance to get it together. SWV will not involve themselves in their manipulations. However, yeah, it's a bit much.
I mean, so when you're saying Candy manipulated, are you saying that Candy used Bravo to get the girls to come for her own benefit? Is that what you're saying? She manipulated?
Yes. Yes, exactly. But because before Candy or pitch a show, she has an idea of some of the situations that's going on within the people that she's allowing to participate in the show. So she knew something and she wanted it out also. So Candy she's manipulative. She knows how to go. I'm looking
Okay,
for the word.
so let me challenge you with that. I'm not saying you're right, you're wrong. Let me challenge you with this. If Candy did not come up with this, be the brainchild for this group getting back together and SWV coming on, would Tamika and Tasha, because they said that they were needing money, right? Right? They said that they were needing money. Don't you
Yes.
think that this was to their benefit and not their detriment? Like their personal issues of them fighting and the infighting was over money. Candy coming up with the Xscape Reunited series reinvigorated all of the fans to really have an interest in the group again and an interest in seeing them live, which put money in all of their pockets. So maybe to produce a show, you have to almost bamboozle people who don't want to be in the same room together to get together and make this money together. That's the only thing I would challenge what you were saying. Bamboozle,
Okay.
They needed the money, right?
Right. But remember, they did the verses. That's how it all came about, from the verses. So she clearly had an idea. So
Now,
that's
Mona Scott, yes, Mona Scott did come up with it, but technically Mona ain't on Bravo without Candy. What did Andy say to one of the franchises? He said this wasn't Love and Hip Hop. He said that in the book. So
Yeah.
Mona could not make it to Bravo without Andy. Just saying, but thank you so much for coming up. Hopefully I will see you next week.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right,
ma'am.
you have a good one. No problem. Have a good one. Okay. What's up, Savannah?
Hey, Lims, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself? What do you think about this episode?
Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack in this episode. So, first of all, as an original member of your Juicy crew, I would like your on-air commitment that you will read Lily's Hot Poom Poom book as your next series. Can we get that from you?
Maybe. I don't know that I'll be reading her Hot Poom Poom book, but maybe I will do that as my next giveaway. That way I can support her and my members
we'll support Lily.
Okay, we'll support Lily's, moisture. And you guys, my crew, I don't technically have a crew. I was just joking. These lovely ladies have coined the phrase Mims Hot Juicy Crew. I don't technically have a crew.
Mims, you created the Juicy Crew that night. You need to take ownership of that. That was you.
I'm not having a moisture crew or juicy crew. I don't have a what do they say, like the Navy and Beyonce has the Beehive. I don't have that yet. Hold on, I got one super chat. I said Candy didn't pitch the show though. She didn't even want to do it. This was a Mona Scott production. I stand corrected, guys. What I was saying was Candy had to be a part of it to get it on Bravo.
Correct.
And so what was your thoughts, Savannah, on the show?
So my thoughts on with the mother and Tamika's discussion. In light of everything, all the other incidents have gone on this week with the baby mama and all the Instagram post and I believe with Tasha and Rocky, that's a fake relationship. I do believe everything Tamika's saying, but now I've had give the mother a little bit of grace. And I'm thinking the mother is a little more protective on Tasha because of everything that she's going through, because she knows the truth about Rocky and what he's doing out there with the side baby, and all the backstories that we don't know of yet, and everything that she's going through. So she's being very protective. So I'm trying to give her a little bit of grace and not pile on her so much. But I do agree, we need to give them a little bit more time to work that out with Tasha and Tamika.
I agree with you. I mean, again, this is reality. Tamika is
Correct.
giving us actual reality. And it sucks because I really do feel that is her real feelings. And I really do feel like she has forever felt like the other child.
Correct.
And I don't know the situation with the mom. The mom might have been one of those hardworking mothers who pulled herself up from her bootstraps and really made a way for her children. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. We don't know that the father was completely out of the life. We just know that the father chose to leave. So
Correct.
I hope that they give us more information on that. Tamika has been also doing her own reviews of the show, just like Candy and Don Juan. So maybe I'll put in one of the comment sections. Maybe we'll do an impromptu interview / non-interview. But Savannah, this line is really backed up today.
I know. Thank you so much, Ms. And we'll chat again soon.
I know I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too. Next up is I Am Leo Aries, and then In My Opinion. Yes, ma'am. What did you think of the show?
I'm not gonna hold you up too long. What's going on, Mims? Look, I watched Speak on It with Candy tonight, and she actually broke down why it was she was requesting to be, well, really putting it on the table. She says it's about the business. And she says when you start out doing the business, you put out the terms in the open very, very clearly. So she said that with them opening, with SWV opening for the Great Xscape tour, it was already in history that that's what they did. And once you come out as a headliner, the package that you are offered money-wise as a headliner is different. And you don't want to go backwards. You want to keep earning the exact same fees that you've always earned. So you do not set a precedent to accept a lower coin. She says it's about the business. She says she gives them all due respect for the albums that they sold. They are a great group. They are good friends. But she says basically business is business.
I did think it was funny that this wasn't like laid out at the beginning, because now you're in full-fledged reality television production, right? And production has a budget. You guys have you should have a clear idea of what it is. And the show should just be about how you guys put it together. It's strange that we're in episode 3 and they're just talking about who's top billing and how the money is going to be split. That is strange.
Well,
did she touch on that?
Yes, she did. She said because the management situation was so unclear. If they would have had a management company, agency, a management team that were all talking to each other, communicating with each member about the business aspect, she wouldn't even had to bring it up. But she didn't have a confident management team that she can go to and bring up these issues. So she did it for herself. You know Candy a boss now. Y'all can say what y'all want to about Candy. But I can respect how she handles her business. And unapologetically, she was like, I know folks are going to be mad with me. And I get it. I get how it was edited. And you can be mad if you want to. But it's business. You never take business personally.
I mean, I will say this. If it were me, and I know how much money I make day to day doing my own business, in order for me to go and do business over there, you would need to match it, or there would need to be some extra benefit for me, right? Candy and Tiny don't necessarily need this. like some of maybe the other cast members do. So you might have to sweeten the pot to get them. Now, it doesn't mean that they are the lead vocalists in the group. It just means for them to participate in this particular project, you might have to sweeten the pot.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. And she's just said a negotiation like that would take place amongst the management team where the talent can just be the talent. But because they didn't have a capable management team, and I also look at it like this too, Mims. You know, Kandi, they need to really take her as the person that she is. If they could deeply collaborate, they could learn some business techniques. Even if they would have to sweeten the pot for them, it would be a total learning experience how to, to navigate and negotiate your coin.
I'm with you. I am Leo Aries. I'm definitely with you. You then came and dropped some stuff. I will be tuning into Candy's speak on it probably after I get off. But yeah,
you have a
business. You too. Yeah, and I'll see you next week, right?
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right. Have a good one. Let's see. So I got Pretty Black Girl says Mims. We're naming and claiming the Mims Juicy Crew. We are not the Juicy Crew. Thank you, Pretty Black Girl. Riri says, I feel like this show is damaging Xscape's legacy. They should have just let it go and continue to be unsung. Not unsung. Y'all are shady, and I'm here for it. Thank you so much, Riri. Okay. In my opinion, you're up, and then Autumn's mom.
Hey, Mims. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Let me tell you something. Okay, so I did my own little deep diving into this episode, and let me tell you something. That mama, she was prepared to live a life where she wasn't going to have to work for nothing. And that's all fine and good as if you got a great marriage or whatever. But she didn't. And that man left, and she was bitter because he left. And she's no longer a housewife no more. And she had to get out there and get it. And I get it. For her, that was a tough blow. But you can't take it out on your kids. Her child was literally sitting there asking her to see me. And you still fussing about you the fifth member of a group. That was your claim to fame here, that you are fifth member of the group. When you weren't out there looking for no coins, that was Tiny Mama that was looking for the coins. You ain't been out there running on no road trips. No, that was Kandi and Tiny Mama on the road. Like, she did nothing to help these kids. But you want to be claimed as the fifth member. Miss me with that, okay? You couldn't even be a mama to your kids. So I don't even want to hear about her no more, okay? Miss Glory can go back into the hole that she came out of. I'm sorry.
Let me just read my book. Okay.
I'm serious because that pissed me off. And then let me tell you something. Again, okay, I think all y'all need to go look at Speak on it because, first of all, Kandi had Mona Scott on the very first episode, and she said, I did not want to do it. Did not want to do this show, but you talked me into it. And Tiny and Tamika talked me into it, and that was the only reason why I did the show is because y'all talked me into it. She was the only one that was holding out on doing this show. Everybody else wanted to do it. She said she knew this was what was going to happen because this is what happens every time. They get together,
I just want to say this really
something.
quickly. I just want to say this really quickly. There can be instances where a parent, like no parent is perfect, right? And like I said earlier, sometimes maybe your own personal life experiences have affected you in a way that you are presenting to the world things that you're not aware of, right? So maybe she thought she was doing the best she could, and now she's really hearing for the first time that maybe. Well, just hear me out. Just hear me out. Maybe now she's just hearing for the first time that she treated her daughters differently. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, you play devil's advocate because let me tell you, I'm a mom. Okay,
we don't. No,
I'm just saying. This is the thing, man.
Kids, though, she might have.
Okay, I'm just saying. This the thing, ma'ams. Okay. I give her. This is the thing. Okay, I'm a mom. Okay,
Yeah.
and I had to do it as a single mom until I got, found my husband and got married. You know what I'm saying? So I know the struggles of being a single mom, but I also know that there's no way in the world that I would dare hurt my kids like this, to an extent like this, and still being grown. I'm gonna still belittle them. Like, it comes a point where, yes, you're the mom, and no, you don't want to be disrespected, but you have to know that your child is hurting too. As a mom, you feel that hurt for your kid. Like, you feel it in your body, in your soul. Like, there's a point when you know your kid is hurting so bad. And for this girl to she literally balled up in a shell. She covered her face and everything. That's some deep hurt. Okay. And she's been through therapy, and she's still doing this. Like, she's climbing back up and being that same little kid that she was before. She's crying out for you to see me, hear me. Like, you've never seen or heard me before. I need you to see me or hear me now.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that I don't think that any parent is perfect. And just based on the show, the mom is not my favorite character, right? And I agree with the sentiments that she should have listened to Tamika. All I'm saying is she might have been a good mom who just did not know that she was showing favoritism, right? Like, we have to allow people the grace to say, this is what you did to me. I need for me to heal. I need for you to accept that. And then we can do things differently moving forward, right? That's what therapy is. That is what, I don't know. I don't want to say that she wasn't a good mom because I don't know that, right? We don't know. She could have been a good mom, and she might have just messed up some ways because she's perfect. She's imperfect.
So Tasha's still doing interviews now, and she said the situation still ain't good between her and her mama. So did you hear her tell her mama tonight? Did it seem like the mama heard her? So what's your issue now?
You then came in and shook the table, in my opinion. But my backstage is absolutely full. So I will see you next week, my friend. All right. Bye. Autumn's mom, you're next. Then Fifi. Then Laurel. What's up, Autumn's mom?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Better than Tamika's mama tonight because they are laying into her.
I see. And it's so funny because I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. But then each panelist that came up, it's like I had something to say to whomever. So let me start with how I feel about Tamika's mom and her reaction and all that stuff. I will say this to you. Yes, it's nice to try to think we don't know if she was quote unquote a good mom, this, that, and the third. But I think that's being naive because at the end of the day, it's not just that she showed favoritism. We witnessed this with our own eyes. We witnessed her gaslight her child, belittle her, put her down, and other such abusive behaviors that are mentally abusive, not physically, right? But all in all, how can you afflict that kind of pain on your child and then be considered a good parent to that child? Maybe she was a good parent to her other children, but let's not discount what we've seen, what they showed us on camera. Okay. And then for her to say that this has been going on her whole life. When I saw it, two things. I thought the same thing you did. I was like, oh, her mother instantly, when she said back up, she was like, wait, what do you mean back up? Take a step back. And all of a sudden she seemed concerned. But I didn't.
You're not gonna send me them love offerings no more.
That was part of it. I was like, is she worried she gonna pull back the pocketbook strings? That's kind of, I wasn't getting like, I'm concerned about your feelings. But it also could be, I believe what we're witnessing is narcissistic parenting. And when you have a narcissistic parent, they need to feed off of you needing them and wanting their approval for them to feel better. So if you are to pull back, what are they going to feed off of? So that would be scary for a narcissistic parent. They need to reel you back in before you get too far because they need to suck your blood so they can feel better. And I think if you just listen to what they told us, she said she was a daddy's girl, but she reminded, and she's just like her father. So she reminded the mother of the father on a daily. So with that being said, with narcissistic parents, she's not even, say, intentionally even realizing she's inflicting this on her quote unquote child. She's thinking she's just seeing her ex, you see what I'm saying? And inflicting to the person that's closest to her that she can get it off on, and it happened to be her child. And it's not right.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely not right.
yeah. So mama need to seek some therapy, and eventually the sentiment of taking a step back is probably going to end up being the healthiest, because she has to be able to set boundaries that are healthy for her, because you can't continue to be someone's punching bag when you realize it is what it is, because that person can't help themselves and they need to seek the help. And if they don't do that, you wishing on a star, because they're not going to change. It's always going to be what it is. And what that is looks like is you're not good enough to them, but you are.
I fully agree.
Mm-hmm.
And the audience is hearing what you're saying as well. Great idea. Okay. But Autumn's mom, I am completely backed up. So thank you so much. Will you be back? You know what, guys? Maybe depending on what my schedule looks like, we could do one of those no holds bars open panels later in the week where I just let everybody up.
Sounds good.
Where you got to throw them bows to get in.
Yeah, and then I like it when, not for nothing, this forum, I understand why you do it for time restraints, but I like to engage with the other panelists, because sometimes you may be thinking one way in your mind and you hear something and it might change your mind, or you might have a follow-up question for them, you know what I mean? Or be able to say an opposing view that might have them think a different way. So
well, I will ask. I will
have
ask if y'all want me. I will do a poll. So look out for that poll. If you guys want me to do a full no holds bars open panel, where I just let everybody up and we all just throw ideas and talk about it later in the week. I'll do that poll. Check out. Thank you,
all right.
Mom.
I'll be back in the chat. Have a good night. But
you too. Fifi, you're up. Then Laurel, and then Tamara.
Hey,
yes,
ma'am.
Fifi.
Hello.
Oh, we get her on here twice. Q, you didn't.
I know. Okay. This is amazing. So first, just wanted to say that you are the hardest working person out here in these streets. Your channel growth is amazing.
Thank you.
As a person who was born and raised in College Park, Georgia, adjacent to Point, Xscape was down the street. So
is Candy your cousin?
No.
You know Mama Joyce?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue.
But neighborhood wise, it was pretty close. But I love SWV. Nothing against Xscape. I've just always been an SWV fan. I would actually like to see Coco's older son and kind of see their family dynamics. We still haven't seen him because she has 2 sons.
I think that's probably because he already has 1 million followers and he's solidified. I would not be surprised if Coco did this show to really push her son forward in the music industry.
Okay. Other than that, not gonna be long because I know that you're full. But now it's time for a little shade.
Okay.
And disclaimer, I am a teeth person. Like that's the first thing I see when I see someone. I just don't understand the labels and cars and personal aesthetics.
Okay,
and I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there because it's gonna go bad. But anywho,
what?
I'm gonna stop there.
Just say it. You done already wet the people's whistle. What were you going to say?
We have to invest in us. It's okay to go to the dentist, spend some of that money. It's really not that expensive compared to the Valentinos and the Gucci and the Louis Vuittons. Like, get your teeth fixed. You're on national television. My God.
Are you talking about Latasha's husband? Because somebody pointed out that he was missing a tooth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
And on that note, she was talking about Ike Turner's missing tooth. Thank you, Fifi.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Laura, you're up.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, hi, Mims. I just want to say,
Hey,
first of all, y'all are shady.
they
Shady.
are. I didn't know. Not me.
Sure. But I just wanted to say, I'm like a part of Generation Z, so I want to like talk about I think it was Coco's son and his like dreams of becoming a singer. While I do understand like his take on happiness and wanting to do like what's set for you, I also think that you need to have a backup plan. So like if you want to go out and you want to be a singer, you need to have like your plan like ready and set out for you. And then if that doesn't work, you need to have something like behind you. Because think about like stars. I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, or like Megan the Stallion. I don't know if I can say her name, but like think about just like
Who?
stars who are big now.
You talking about Megan?
Yeah, like I don't
Okay.
know if like okay. Think about Megan, how like her grandma was telling her, you can do this rapping thing, but you need to have a degree at the end of the day.
Right.
And so still she was getting big and she was climbing steady up like the celebrity ladder, but she still got her degree at the end of the day. So if that all fails, she has something to fall back onto. So I think in the same light that Coco's son should do the same thing, because like I guess a Generation Z thing is if something's not happening for us, we'll just immediately like quit it because we don't care. We just want to like do what's best for us. But in the same light, you also have to prepare for the rest of your life at the same
I
time.
think that's a
So
good point. Megan did, and Megan was actually in the studio. She was doing it all and graduated while she
yeah,
was a megastar. It can be done, definitely. So that was a
yeah,
very
like
good,
actually
valid
putting
point.
in the work and not just talking like some people. But I digress.
Now, Kelsey did say that was doing that girl's work, but that's a rumor.
Nobody. I
Kelsey
don't know
said it,
about
not me.
that.
Kelsey
I
said
know, I
it,
know, I
not
know.
me. If you don't know, Kelsey was the girl who was there the night that all the whole Megan stuff happened with Tori and all that. And
Which is why I
Kelsey
take
said
her
she was doing
words with a
homework.
grain of
But
salt, because I wouldn't believe in all that. But
yeah, because she was already her enemy by then. But okay, so what else you got?
I also want to say that Tamika's mom is. I've seen like a lot of relationships where it's like, well, I know that her mom was a housewife, and then she expected this life to basically come to her. It also seems like the type of relationship where your mom, as soon as you turn 18 or as soon as you turn old enough to like, pay your own bills, she expects you to do that while also paying her back at the same time for doing things like raising you, or like things like, because I raised you, because I put clothes on your back, you need to be paying me back. So it kind of seems like that type of relationship as well, which is very, very toxic. And I hope that Tamika can like find her way out of it, because she's like searching for her mom's love, but it's not really, coming. So I really hope that she can find her way out of that.
I mean, again, I still want to interview Candy, but it does sound like Mama Joyce. She said she put in the work at the front end, and in the back end, you need to pay her. Candy has said that her mom was an integral part in her, becoming a millionaire, and she will do that. I think that, I have issues with my mom, but if she needs anything, no matter what we're going through, I'm gonna make sure she has it.
Yeah, that's true. But like, there also needs to be a line where your mom just can't like take, and take from you while also breaking your spirit down at the same time. So I think if she's able to draw that line, then she'll be like set for life. Because right now, it's like because she wants so much love from her family and she wants this acceptance, she can't like see what's happening to her and see this toxic relationship that she's building with her mom and her sister. So
That's a good point, but again, I would challenge that with I like to pull from my own experiences. My mom ain't changing at this point. So I love her unconditionally, but do we have issues? Yes. If she needs anything, would I always be there for her no matter what? Yes. I'm technically a millennial. So I do know that we have differences between my generation and your generation, But no matter what, it's still my mom. Can I love you from a distance if you are creating such a toxic space in my life? Definitely. But in terms of like money or something that you might need, I will always, no matter what, be there for my mom. Whether that's right or wrong, it might be a generational thing.
Yeah, I can understand that because like I really love my mom. She does everything that she can for me. So I can understand like always wanting to like have her back and be there for her. But it was just like one point in life where she just like completely did a 180 and just flipped on. I don't know. Maybe that is different. I feel like I would just like, not be within the same vicinity as her. We probably
You need to
would lose
protect your
contact.
peace.
Yeah,
Yeah, you definitely need to
that's
protect your peace. But I mean, having a single mom who raised you and gave up so much and gave you life, I do still feel obligated to do, things for my mom, even when our relationship isn't great. But I
yeah,
get
that's
it, it's
true.
hard. But
Yeah.
my mom is at the age where she ain't changing. So
I get it. I understand.
but thank you so much, Laurel. I hope I'm saying that right. Laurel, right?
Yeah, Laura. Just like Laura,
Okay.
like Laura with the O, but yeah.
Okay, well, definitely. I hope you do come back because I liked having your perspective being like one of those Generation Z people.
Of course, always.
All right, well, I will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tamara, you're up next, and then Brittany, then Miss Bernice.
Hey, man,
Hey,
and Juice Crew. Um,
wait, I got your super chat up. So let me first read your super chat.
I love it.
Tamara says the mom wants Tamika to feel anger towards her dad. Thank you so much for the super chat, Tamara. Please expound on your thought.
That happens a lot. I'm a single mom now, but sometimes it is hard to see your kids be so cool with your dad because you have the backstory. What he did do, what he didn't do, and not just for you, but for them. But I've grown to understand. I picked that man. They didn't. That is their father. Those are facts. So no matter
Do I have
how
a microphone? Mike.
So it doesn't matter how I feel or what history we have. That is their dad. I know how my dad was. We didn't always have the best relationship, but that was my daddy. You better not talk about him, and I know he loved me, and that's what matters to me. So I had to learn that, and now me and him have a much better relationship. Um,
Mhm.
because it's crazy to me not to be friends with the person that you brought life into the world with. But my ex-husband, that's a whole story. But anyway, getting back to the show. Tamika is on her journey, and I'm going to tell you about something I noticed with her. Her telling her truth is freeing her up to understand the opportunity she lost siding with her mom and sister. Because, see, remember, Tamika was friends with Candy and Tiny first. She brought Latasha in. They were the clique, not Latasha. So Candy
She was
came up.
older.
Who? Latasha, right. Candy
Mhm.
came up. Tiny came up. But she didn't come up like that. She's okay. But I'm sure Tasha give mama more money than Tamika with her husband, 3 kids, and grandkids. So I think what happened is she finally realized her strength and her glow because she has a beautiful way about her. I'm sorry. I love Tamika. She seems
Mhm.
very sincere and genuine, and I really feel bad for her. But I think she's about to come up because when I tell you, Miss Tamika got some stories to tell, she really does. And I think she's
Perfect
looking at
reality star.
yeah, perfect. I mean, there's nothing. She has so many stories, and she listens to Candy, who I think she's Candy's A1 student right now. She's gonna go somewhere because Candy looks out for people. You don't have to like Candy, but Candy has given a lot of people a chance to make something, do something with it, and they didn't do it. I think Tamika is like, I need to get on that team because the team I'm on is stealing my money, disrespecting me, making me feel like I'm crazy.
Get
Like
your
I don't care.
team to help you.
Man, I
You
don't care.
giving
You cannot pick your family, but you can choose your team. That is not they're her family. She loves them no matter what, but that's not her team. I think Tiny wants her to win. I think Candy wants her to win. I really do, and I'm hoping she does get on Real Housewives of Atlanta because baby, that show was real Atlanta, not that Housewives stuff. Them ladies are from Atlanta. Most of them born. I think they're all born and raised here. That's what the Real Housewives should be. That stuff they have now is crazy. That is Tiny's money. That is Candy's money. Okay, that is Tamika's house. And she's trying to come up. I'm here for it. The mama is whack. Rocky or Rocco, whatever his name is, he's a bully. He just needs one man, the right man, to back him down. And I have a feeling it's going to happen. And no, Candy's right. Xscape should headline. No one is really checking for SWV as much as they are for Xscape. They have younger kids. They have presence. Like Tiny and Candy, they're businesswomen. I love it. I love it. I'm glad they stood their ground, and they should get the same money in the same billing that they've been getting consistently. Because why would you lower your value? So she's right. And that's all I have. 5 minutes.
All right, Tamara, I'll see you next week, right?
Of course you will.
All right, well, I'll see you next week. And I like Candy. I like that she's a business person. I know that this was Mona's brainchild, but again, Candy was the catalyst because even Tiny was on VH1. So to get on Bravo and to really like this show is hitting. Surprisingly, I looked up the ratings and they haven't hit 500K yet. That was surprising to me with the amount of fanfare. But I think what has happened is people like me and other YouTubers are really intrigued with this show, and we are pushing it out because the ratings 500K. I mean, I would have thought they would be at around like 7 or 8, but hopefully we're getting the word out and pushing it and being a part of the machine. So thank you, Tamara. I appreciate you. Brittany, you're up. Then Miss Bernice, then Steph Boogie.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing okay. So
I'm
here's
better
what
than
I'm
Tasha's mama because they're dragging her.
absolutely, and I'm probably about to drag her too. So here's the thing. Tell me if you get this kind of sort of that mom has something to do with that whole 30,000 going missing. She's just too like closed mouthed about it. She's just like, nobody stole your money. End of story. It's a little bit more to the story, and I think the world is right where you just didn't think your daughter was going to say something, and now you're just trying to save face type of thing. But my other thing is co-headlining isn't such a bad idea. But if you guys really can't get it together or the logistics aren't matching to what your standard is, it's nothing wrong with being a special guest that night. That doesn't mean that your bag can't be still paid, which you do a show. It just means that you're just coming together for the common collective. And how dare y'all have the audacity to sit in front of my face and tell me that you need the headline when 2 days ago y'all couldn't look at each other? How you gonna tell me that?
Who are you talking about? SWV or Xscape?
Xscape.
Oh, okay.
Like you literally, your band member wants to be solo, but you sitting there trying to tell me that you need the headline for what? Y'all ain't gonna make it. That's what it looks like via conversation. So maybe just it's not too bad to be a special guest type of thing, but those are my takeaways from this episode.
Well, I mean, I put out there a disclaimer. I could see a situation where the check went to the mama's house, similar to Candy's check went to Mama Joy's house.
Literally,
I
can see that too, and I don't think you're too far off about it. And I think the mom says something like, "Well, I told her to do it," and that's the end of the story. So now Tamika is forgiving her, whatever the case may be, and that's why she's like, "How are you telling me to my face you don't know that she stole my money? I physically watched you give it to her." Like it could be like a scenario type of thing.
Allegedly,
Like
let me
that.
put that banner up.
Oh
Allegedly.
yeah, please. No, I don't want no trouble for you. But I could just see how there's a lot of scenarios that could probably stem from that idea, because for lack of better words, that mom, she not over whatever that dad did when he left back in 73. Like that still hurts her to the core. And she really do probably look at Tamika and sees the father, and she never really heal from whatever kind of journey they had together. So it is really hard for her to see Tamika's side because she identifies so much with Tasha in her story. Tasha's the oldest daughter. She probably seen a lot of her mom struggle. So Tasha knows what to say and how to play off that. But that little Tasha be putting on the front in front of her mom. And she
And
knows
acting like her mom. That
yes, she
that
does.
using religion to excuse your own personal bad behavior and admonish the next person. I have a personal problem with that. Don't use religion on me if we are in an equal fight and it ain't about God. You telling me that I'm ungodly because I'm mad at you. Now that is some Pharisees type stuff. Like that is some stuff that's really deep.
I would have to agree with you. I would definitely have to agree with you. But I can literally sit here and talk to you forever and ever. I do want to give the other people who are waiting backstage a chance, but I'm totally waiting for next week. And I'm just waiting for our daily videos that you drop for us.
I have one for tomorrow already. So check out that one. Will be dropping at 8 a.m. It's a doozy. Thank you, Brittany, for coming up. If you guys don't know, I did a really personal video a couple days ago where I talked about like a lot that's gone on. My exclusive interview with Jacqueline from RHOP, my grandmother passing away. It was a very deep video. Check it out. What was the name of that video? I'll link it at the end of this video.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, thank you so much, Brittany.
Condolences to your family too.
I appreciate it because it was a rough week. It was a whole lot.
I can imagine.
Let me see while you're up here. Let me pull that video up. Let's see. Because it was me and Jamie. That's me. And it just, you guys asked for a more personal video. And it says behind the scenes tea and a life update. Definitely check that video out. Thanks, Brittany.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Miss Bernice, you're up. Hey.
Hey, Mims. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing fine. Condolences on the loss of your grandmother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know the song for your Juicy crew?
Yes.
You said
My neck, my back.
Got them crazy. Got them crazy. Got them.
Not my neck, my back?
No, not my neck, my back.
Where are you at on this episode? Because I do not have the juicy. That is not the name of.
See, got you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, where are you at on this episode, Miss Bernice?
You know, let me. This.
You're really low tonight, Miss Bernice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn it up. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better.
Okay. This Boys in the Hood, mama. Because if anybody who saw Boys in the Hood know that when the mother despises the father, she was going to treat her kids differently. She despised Doughboy's father, so Doughboy couldn't do no right in her eyes. She loved.
I remember that.
Yes, she loved Ricky's daddy, so Ricky got all the joy and happiness from the mama. And this woman is doing the same exact thing.
You're onto something there. I have forgotten all about that, Miss Bernice.
Yes, this mother has done it. When she came to that child's house, now this is your baby girl. She done humbled her heart, even though she didn't do anything to disrespect you. She just told you how she felt. So when telling you how I feel is being disrespectful to you, I have no idea what world you living in, because she didn't disrespect you. But she said, okay, I'm going to apologize to my mama. I disrespected her. When she opened the door, your first instinct as a mother, I'm going to open my arms and say, baby, I love you. Let's work it out. You came in there like you was the queen on a throne, and you surveying your territory.
I'm with you.
And even when she said, I cooked for you, and I cooked everything that you like. Oh, really? Okay. That's not no mother-daughter. Now, if that was Tasha, it would have been totally different.
She would have hugged her, embraced her, told her she was dressed real cute and real nice.
Exactly. So you treat your kids differently because kids not supposed to have an opinion on who their parents is. I love my parents the same as for both of them. My parents divorced and separated. My dad lived in the next block. I saw my dad every day. I didn't have no animosity toward my father. My mother never said anything bad about my father. Whatever it was in their marriage, they could work it out. It's best for you to go your way and I go mine. Okay.
Now, I had my experience was different, Miss Bernice. My dad made the personal choice not to ever be around. So, you know, when he did try to come around when I was well into adulthood, no, I mean, who I knew was my mom, my uncles, my aunts, my grandma, my sisters. You know what I mean? Like that. So, and my granddad, I knew all those people. I didn't know you. So, you know, people have different types of experiences. Yours separated and yours was a block away and he was still very much in your life. I'm curious to like pull that thread and see just how much that reigns true for Tamika and Latasha. Was their father an absentee father, or was he there and the mom just didn't like him because he chose to end that relationship?
Right. And when Tamika broke down, she covered her face and she said, "Mama," and she broke down and said, "You don't see me." As a parent, see, you're supposed to have unconditional love for your child. This woman don't have unconditional love for Tamika. Her love is on conditions. If you're doing what I say, you give me what I want, not what you need, what I want. Like you the child and she the parent. It's not that way around. Unconditional love. I love you no matter what. You came out of me.
I think that's the question for the day, Miss Bernice. What will you do to show unconditional love, or will you let things like that have impacted you impact your relationship with your children?
And if they got divorced, Tamika was 8. Tamika almost 50. So you've been having this animosity in your heart for too many years to count. That's your burden. That's not your child's burden. That's yours.
Well, all right, Miss Bernice, you then gave us something to think about, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You then came in and shook the table in the most deep Ianla Van Zant way.
I try to do that. I'm 58. I try to keep wisdom in my heart. Okay.
All right, Miss Bernice. And we're not doing the Juicy Crew. All right, thank you, Miss Bernice.
Okay, bye, Bill.
See you next week. All right, Steph Boogie and then Karma Fox, you are the last one. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. First, I want to say condolences to you and your family. I'm sorry for your loss. You're welcome. And then also, I want to tell you, I love your channel. Like, it's my fave. I be looking every day, like, is it a new video out? So you're doing a great job.
I really do appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys choosing to spend time with me every day.
Yes, because we could be anywhere in the world, but we here with you.
I appreciate that. I really honestly do. Okay, so I got Angel will be like the very, very last person because y'all know I do have to go to my real job tomorrow, and I still have to shoot my video tomorrow morning that will upload at 8.
Okay, let me get into it then for you. Okay, so as far as Tamika and Tasha's mom is concerned, she's an old school mom. She's a do what I say, not what I do. You can think it, but I better not hear it type of mom. And in my opinion, my mom, while my mom was like that, she was a new and improved version because she made a conscious effort not to be like that. But a lot of that, in my opinion, a lot of that is learned behavior. But you have to want and you have to try to undo that mindset. And you also got to be conscious of that mindset in order to change it. And I would be curious to know the mom's upbringing, to be honest. I don't see her undoing that mindset, and it's sad because as a daughter of a woman,
Steph, have you heard of generational curses? Do you believe in that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like to me.
that's exactly. Yeah, but as the daughter of a woman who, like, I miss my mom so much. So she, like, my mom was the mom that my friends wish they had. So as a daughter of a woman like that, I feel for Tamika, because I feel like every daughter deserves the type of love that I had from my mom. Like every daughter, So I feel for her. But as far as the $30,000 theft is concerned, I talked to my brother about this. 'Cause I talked to my brother about everything, and we were talking about it, and we both agree, even though this is an unpopular opinion, we both agree we wouldn't press charges on each other. We would, however, develop a payment plan to pay each other back, but we wouldn't press charges. But I guess losing both my parents, I wouldn't press charges on my brothers for something like that. You just have to pay me back. So that's how we felt about that.
$10,000? Greg borrowed $10,000? No, you're gonna give me my money, or you going to jail.
As far as Taj, look, I see Taj being the bone collector out here in these streets. Shout out to Sheree. She carrying all the bones on the show. And then as far as the group negotiations are concerned, so I'm an SWV fan. Like SWV came out my freshman year in high school. I love Xscape too, but SWV as a freshman hits differently. So with that being said, um, and I'm also a Candy fan. I love Candy 'cause I'm a businesswoman, so I see Candy. But with that being said, I do think that everyone should think highly of themselves. So I'm not even upset with her audacity to flex and advocate for her and her group. I also think that women are often viewed as being difficult when we try to speak up and use our voices. So, as much as I'm okay with her speaking up, she should also be able to accept some pushback, which I don't think she has a problem with. With that being said, if you're planning an event together, it should be a co-lining tour, no discussions. Um, I see also Candy and her crew keep on bringing up past tours where SWV opened or went on first, but I would be curious to know who planned those events, who planned those concert dates, who planned those tours. If Candy's and Escape's team planned those tours, well, it would make sense for SWV to go on first. But if you're planning this together, this situation may be a little bit different. So that's all I got to say today.
I mean, I do hear what you're saying, but I also understand what Candy's saying, in the sense that you guys were fine being an opener for whatever amount of time, and now we've brought you into this Bravo kind of platform, and without me specifically and Tiny's, we probably would not be getting the fanfare. I don't know. That's a difficult one, but that is one that probably that was a conversation that would have been more comfortably had behind closed doors, management to management. It did feel.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it did feel to me that it was kind of like belittling a little bit.
It was. And that's what Candy said in her speak on this. She did, because I watched that before I tuned into you. And she did say that if they weren't having issues with management right now, that is a conversation their manager would have had with their manager, and we would not have seen that conversation. But because she was advocating for herself and her group, then we saw that conversation. And that goes back to kind of what I said, when women are in boardrooms or when women are advocating or negotiating, we're viewed as difficult, but she should be able to advocate for herself, right or wrong, without being viewed as a villain or being viewed as difficult, because at the end of the day, it's still her money. And so like I said, I don't disagree with her advocating for herself, but I do think that in
She
this
shouldn't have been on that
situation,
ledge by herself.
yeah, I agree.
If Xscape felt like they were top billing, well, first off, we don't even know if Xscape in totality has signed on to do it. But if they had come to a meeting of the minds together, then it should not have just been Candy alone saying it.
I agree. No, and she said that, like, in the speak on it, she did say that her Xscape felt the same way. But I think as Candy is the businesswoman she is, sometimes when you're, I'm not saying that her group doesn't have a business mind, but your acumen for business is a little bit different. So you're not afraid of having those tough conversations. And it seems like, and I agree with you, she shouldn't be on the list by herself, but it feels like Candy may not have minded that tough conversation.
Steph, stop it. It sounds like you have media training. You just said, Their business acumen is different. You're saying they don't have it. Stop.
Well, I am a journalist, so I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It was definitely giving media training.
I'm not even trying. I'm a journalist and a middle kid, so we kind of like, we don't want to offend nobody, so we hide behind our work.
We saw exactly what you did there, Steph.
Hey, listen, I'm true to this. I'm just joking, but no, great conversation. Keep up the good work.
What somebody said? What did I miss? Steph said them other girls do not have business acumen. Period. Other than Candy.
I'm just saying, Candy probably has more from experience. That's why Tasha mad, because she wasn't afforded the opportunities. No, I'm just.
All right. Well, Steph, I got Karma and Angel, but definitely I think next week we're not gonna be doing 2 hours. So next week I probably will do the 2 shows, one for a complete open panel and one for what's it called. But thank you so much, Steph. I really do.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Karma, you're up, and then Angel. Karma, which one? I see you twice. All right, is this one the one that works?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Okay, so let me remove that one. Okay. What's up, Karma?
What's up? Well, condolences to your family. I have you guys in my prayers for your loss. So I just wanted to say that. And I'm still laughing from Steph saying that Coco and them don't know what they're doing. That was funny.
She did it in such an elegant way, though, right?
Business acumen. She said they don't know how to move their check-ins to their savings, and Candy's not for it. Okay, so I have 2 points I'm gonna make. I am gonna go on the SWV opening deal. I don't know if you remember this, but remember when Rihanna, back in her anti-album days, had like all of these tours lined up, and they had to cancel them because she couldn't fill the arenas, which is a Googleable fact. And so did Nicki Minaj. She had a tour. She had to cancel some of the tour dates because she wasn't selling tickets. Now, Rihanna and Nicki Minaj are platinum selling artists. They can sell millions and millions. But the facts are, how many people stream your music may not always go to your concerts. I love Rihanna, but she's not the best performer for me. So I don't really go see her in concert. And I feel like that's what Candy was trying to say, is that the reason why the last tour and what they're doing in the United States matters is because how many tickets can you sell? And if you're not going to be able to sell majority of the tickets that are selling out, because they did sell out the Great Escape tour, it's coming from Xscape filling the arena or wherever venue they choose, it would make sense that they're a headliner. It would make sense that they get more money. Tiny and Candy are carrying Xscape as far as with their fan base and their relevancy, right? More than SWV. And that does not take away from their great music, and it does not take away from their accolades. But as Candy was saying, this is business, and the business facts show that they probably are going to be the stronger headliner for the amount of money that they want. Now, if the promoter can up the money where co-headlining can work and the amount split works for both groups, okay. But I don't see anything wrong with what Candy was saying as
with the
far
low
as
bumping.
I didn't see anything wrong with the ticket sales. I didn't see anything wrong. What do you think? I don't see anything wrong.
Let me just say this, because there is a generational difference. And a lot of people say Candy needs to be off the show. But Candy has nearly 11 million Instagram followers. And in today's age, Instagram followers are gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has far outshined anybody. I think Portia is next up with like maybe 5 million. That plays a big deal. And it's a little off topic, but people like Kendall Jenner, who may not even be the best model with the best walk, having 100, 200 million Instagram followers, or however many she has, automatically catapults her to a level because she is a brand in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So Candy for Bravo having 10 million and being an actual celebrity is a good look. And for all those people who want her off the show, she has 10 million certified Instagram followers. They're not going to just get rid of her because she has a built-in fan base. And when she promotes things, it's free promotion. So you did have a very good point there, Karma.
Thank you. And then the last point I want to make is about Tamika's mom.
Somebody said, but can't get 1 million views on a TV show.
She may
Now,
not be able to get 1 million views on a TV show, but she's the most successful spinoff of all the Housewives.
who's that girl? Who's that girl?
Well, what
Migos'
the
former
SWV
girlfriend.
did? Who's girl?
Who's Migos? The
Cardi
lead singer of Migos, not Cardi B, not Offset's wife.
Quavo?
Quavo's ex-girlfriend, Sweetie.
Sweetie.
Sweetie has millions upon millions of Instagram followers, but when she put out her last album or her last EP project, it went plastic. So sometimes they don't translate to views all the time, but they do look at that. They look at your Instagram followers to kind of determine where they're going to put you. And that's a bargaining chip in how much you make. But okay, continue for Karma, because we are closing off on time. We got to end this show by 2 hours.
Okay, and then so my last point about Tamika's mom is this. I think that there was like conversation earlier tonight about whether or not Tamika's mom was a good mother, and I'm just gonna say this because I feel like this story has triggered and opened up a lot of open wounds for a lot of people who have had issues with any type of parent. And I just hope that Tamika's journey and what I am just seeing in the chat and just on Twitter is that I feel like some people are putting healing in the hands of the person who has done the wrong. Like there is a lot of the mom is still gaslighting and the mom isn't saying this and the mom isn't saying that. And I don't think it's the mom's responsibility to heal Tamika. Tamika unfortunately has to do that on her own. The mother doesn't have the tools nor the landscape to be able to give Tamika the years of the mistreatment, of the favoritism and how that's impacted her. So a part of healing is taking your power back and learning how to be okay that mistreatment happened. You deserve better, and validating your own experiences and feelings and not waiting on that parent to do that for you, because that day may never come and you don't want to be still hurt and walking around with adult trauma that came from childhood. So hopefully that helps. And I appreciate
you just spoke a word.
much.
You just spoke a word. She may not ever get that from her mom. And if that's what you're waiting on to feel fulfilled, then you're gonna stay empty.
You're gonna stay empty. And I feel like that is a energy that I feel in the chat, and why people are so upset, and the $30,000 and these things like that. But the $30,000 is gone, and Tamika's mother is never gonna apologize. And so what is the next step? And that next step is taking your power back and saying these things happened, and I'm going to validate my feelings and experiences. And that's what you have to do in your healing process. That's the first step. So hopefully that helps your listener tonight. I love your channel, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Hopefully you'll be back next week. Or if I do the open panel, guys, later this week, definitely come back. Angel, you're taking the show out today. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm well. I'm at McDonald's ordering food. That'll be all. Thank you. Yes.
I feel like McDonald's doing a new not McDouble. It's the Big Mac but with chicken.
I guess. I don't know.
You need to try that, Angel, and let us know how it tastes.
That I will. First, I agreed with the last caller. Well, first off, I'm sorry about the loss of your grandmother. My heart goes out to you. Secondly, I agreed with the last caller about we're putting too much pressure on Miss Gloria to be the healer when she's caused all the pain. And what and the reason that prompted me to kind of call in is I want people to realize is that we're watching a TV show, and I think that we're putting a lot of expectations, on a situation where we really don't have the full scope of it. The show's been edited. And we gotta offer, Miss Gloria a teaspoon of grace, not a whole bunch, but just a little bit, just to say, don't call her a bad parent or a bad mother, because we don't know that. We just only had about 15 or 20 minutes of her life that's just thrown across the internet, and everybody has their opinions, about that. So that's all I really wanted to say, just to remind everybody that we are watching a television show for entertainment purposes, and kind of be a little bit easier on Mama Gloria. That's all.
Nicole, I think she's talking about the mom says she's in counseling now. Oh, I think Tamika. Nicole, you're talking about Tamika or the mom? Janae Jennings says an album is $10. Concerts are 100 and up. Every album Xscape put out went platinum, not SWV. They have platinum singles, not albums. Y'all, I have casually glazed at the chat every now and then. Y'all are staunch SWV or staunch Xscape fans. So this chat has been going off. I agree with you. I do think that no parent is perfect, right? And Tamika has to be looking at this like, wow, my mom is getting like really drugged through the mud. I'm sure that hurts, but the mom has put this out for public consumption. So people are going to view what is shown to them and make decisions on whether they F with you or not. And just a lot of people don't like the mom.
Yeah.
But I do say, give her some grace. Moms aren't perfect. Dads aren't perfect. Yeah. Hopefully she tried her best to do the best for her kids. And she's just now seeing that Tamika did not get what she needed to get out of her childhood. And I really do hope they can repair. I really hope that they can turn a page. It's not going to happen on the show, but in real life, I hope that they can repair what is damaged. But I think he then left to go completely eat his food, y'all. He's at McDonald's. So this is a good place to close out because we did 2 hours and we were not supposed to do 2 hours. So thank you guys for being here. I'll do that poll at some point this week to see if you guys want to do a whole no holds bar open panel where I just let everybody up. Definitely check out my video called Behind the Scenes Tea Life Update. Me and Jacqueline Behind the Scenes Tea Make It Make Sense Life Update. It details everything that I went through over the course of the week, and it was extremely deep. Thank you all for being here. I will be back next Sunday, same time, same place, 8:30 Central. Y'all, this is a good show. Put Tamika on RHOA. Bye, guys.